Good morning, guys. It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. I wanted to make a quick video for not only Nikki's friend Angelique, but also other people out there that are experiencing pain from exercising specifically in their back region, but also more specifically in their low back region. A lot of people will injure themselves on deadlifts. It could be squats. It could be just randomly going through life, but I wanted to talk about low back pain because I am somebody that has suffered from low back pain in the past, and currently it gives me nagging issues and stuff like that, and I think it's something that we don't pay enough attention to in exactly what it could be, and we focus almost indefinitely on the actual low back itself when almost always it's going to be something else. So first of all, if you like our video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and go check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. So really quick, I wanted to say, first of all, I want you to get a small racquetball, a baseball, a tennis ball, or something like that. You're gonna need a foam roller and some kind of little pad for your back, and you could do this from the couch at your house. I would recommend probably getting some type of little knee pad. And I'm just going to go through a lot of different things that have helped me out. So these little guys, I'll put them in the link in the description below. These little guys here are extremely helpful. If you do have a massage gun, that could be helpful. Not everybody does, I get that. So we're going to do a foam roller. I use this little chew toy looking thing. Everybody hates it when I use it on them, but this little guy here. So we got that. The first exercise I'm going to do is actually not an exercise at all. It's going to be a stretch. So I'm going to start by putting my knee back on some type of location, and it could be, like I said, an ottoman, anything that you have at home. And then you're just going to come down onto that pad. You got one knee up. The knee that is down is going to be the arm that is up. So you want to try to focus on getting this arm up as high as you can. If you feel an extreme tightness inside that hip area, don't force it. Make sure you're not forcing this exercise or this stretch. You want to be able to make sure you can breathe through it. So if you can only get your hand up this high, that's okay. Start there. Now the progression would be 30 seconds on each side. Try to go side to side. If that gets easy over time, what you can do is get this and reach over and make it a little bit more intense. And then you're going to switch to the other side. I'll be honest, this is one. Oh shit, I almost fell over. This is one, I don't ever feel any pain in my hips, but I do know that my hips get tight because if you have a sit down job, a lot of the times these muscles become very shortened. Then when you stand up, it pulls on your back and really kind of kinks it. Now, if you have an injury, it's really important that you get it checked out rather than just doing stretches and stuff like that. I'm not saying they won't help, but make sure one of the good telltale signs is if you exercise and the pain goes away while you're exercising, usually that's something like inflammatory. If the pain gets worse while you're exercising, that could be an actual injury. So make sure you're taking care of those things. There's a lot of different stretches. I will start by using a very basic one. Remember, if you feel pain with any of these, you need to make sure you stop immediately, okay? So you're going to get the palms of your hands and put them flat on the ground, and then you're just going to go from side to side. You may feel more tightness on one versus the other. The further your legs are up, closer to your body, the higher you're going to feel it on your back. So if you put them down here, you're going to feel it low back. Okay, so just try to get to where you can kind of flatten out your legs all the way on the ground. Trying to keep your palms down, your shoulders down. And then after that feels okay, you're going ahead and keep one leg down, one leg up, and then try to do the same thing, going a little bit further with one leg. Try to keep it there. If you're going to be doing these stretches before exercise, don't do a nice long hold. Just kind of go in it and then come back out. If it's after exercise, you can hold it there a little bit longer. Another one is thoracic rotation. A lot of people are just straight up not flexible. Okay? So, you're going to go on all fours, like this, and you're going to do what they call thread the needle. So you're going to bring your arm through, and then up, and through. And you'll notice, if you do this about 10 times, they will get easier through the process. Remember, I'm a super bad candidate for flexibility. This is why I do this so much. Another one is going to be your actual hamstrings. Now, I'll put this in the link in the description below. This guy here is a really good tool to be able to use for hamstring flexibility. Be careful with your flexibility in hamstrings. I can talk more about that on an actual video, like more predominantly about your hamstrings, but you're keeping one leg down, try to keep your leg straight. That's about as far as I can go. So I'm super not flexible on my hamstrings, but you want to be able to make sure you can breathe through them. And then on the other side, you're going to repeat it. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Now your glutes are almost indefinitely always a factor on being an issue with the low back. You can bring this same strap here and pull here. Just be careful not to break your leg off. Or you can put it here, reach your hands under this leg and pull up. Believe it or not, you can't actually pull up because that's how tight I am. A lot of people, especially women, will be 10 times more flexible than this, and they can get this leg all the way up towards their chest. The next one is going to be actually the same exact thing I just said. You're going to grab this knee and pull it towards your chest. The other side, same thing. If you have a big stomach like I do, you might not be able to do that. And then option for that is, I'll show you an alternative option for that guy. I'm going to grab a bench real quick. Is going to be this animal. So any kind of bench or anything like that, you're trying to mimic the same exercise by leaning forward, getting a nice, good glute stretch inside there, and reversing on the other side. Please make sure you're doing both sides of whatever you're doing, making sure you're taking care of everything. The next one, now that you're kind of warmed up, is going to be rolling out. So a lot of the times when we get an injury or tweak our body in some type of way, our muscles will become extremely guarded and they won't let the muscles that are supposed to be working take over. So first thing is you're going to roll out your hamstrings, just rolling on the back of your legs, but all the way into your calves. So we'll start on our calves. And mine are super sensitive because of all the shit I did yesterday. And then we'll go through our hamstrings. And then we'll go over, you're going to spend about 2 minutes on each side if you can. We'll go over to our IT bands. This is going to hurt, just so you know. And then we'll do the other side on your IT bands. And then probably the most important is going to be, now remember, if you have an injury, If your back is like piercing pain, you probably do not want to roll out over that. But as far as your glutes are concerned, you can start on the side like this and then transfer over to the other side and do a little bit more. Then you're going to bring your leg up and same thing. So if the leg's up, the arm is down. And if you feel any spots that are really, really beat up, go ahead and sit there for a while. Next side. This side's a lot worse right now, and it's been bothering me more in my back on that side. So that usually tells me that's a good indication that there's an issue. Now, one of the things, the tight hip thing that I was saying before is a good, now you may pick one or two of these exercises or stretches. You don't have to do them all, but just because you don't feel something in a spot doesn't mean that it's not causing an issue. So right here, where the, like the psoas, all up in here, the hip flexors and everything are a lot of the times a huge issue. So doing these, kind of just grinding them out on the top of the quad and everything like that, up where they meet, really relieves a lot of low back pain, to be honest. Now, you can roll it out. Use the foam roller inside this area. I 100% recommend it. Another thing that you need to take into consideration is strong, deep core muscles like planks, plank to push-ups, things like that, or can help with low back pain and alleviate it to make those core muscles stronger. But also weak adductors in the middle of your legs, on the inside of your legs, like the good girls, bad girls. The good girl one, where you're pulling in your legs, actually can help that, especially if you're squatting a lot and you have a weak, like basically a weak clamp. So now you're going to grab the chew toy, this little guy here, or a tennis ball, a baseball, anything like that, and you're going to go ahead and lay on your back. And for me, what works really good is make sure you don't put this on an actual bone like a spine or anything like that, but I put it directly under my upper glute, and I find a spot that is sensitive and I let it sit there. I put all my body weight on there. If you don't have a lot of body weight, you can put like a plate on your stomach or something like that to intensify it, but most people are probably going to be just fine with the way this feels, meaning it hurts like hell. And then after about 30 seconds, you can move it a little bit. And this is basically my morning routine. This is exactly what I've been doing, and it helps me a lot. And then you can go to the other side. Always mimic each side, because you don't want to become pain-free on one side and then become more pain on the other side. If you guys want me to go more into depth on any specific thing, please feel free to ask. I just know that Angelique was having some problems with her low back, or her back in general, and I thought it was really important to try to get this information out there, because this is something that not only I've suffered from, but lots of clients and just lots of people in general that are exercising or that aren't exercising enough. But I will say, above all else, one of the most important things is getting active, and it doesn't have to be like squatting 1,000,000 pounds all the time or anything like that. But if exercising makes you feel better, which it is a massive natural painkiller, it's really important to make sure you're doing it more often. Another one that I didn't talk about as far as exercises is going to be a sled drag. So a sled drag, not a push, but a drag, where you're putting the weight on your stomach or on the belt, and then pulling the weight behind you, meaning you're pulling your body this way, the sled's dragging you this way, and you're alleviating a lot of back pressure. You can also do like dead hangs. So hanging with like some grips or something like that from like a pull-up bar. Try to hang for as long as you can and just let that body release the pressure off of your low back. Meaning one of the best ways to do that is to breathe in and breathe out and let your legs really, really hang and just let everything relax or whatever. Be careful if it's super high, you don't want to jump down and pressurize the spine again. But make sure you're doing, another one that's really good is reverse hypers, The only EOS that I know that has it, I think she has an EOS membership, is going to be Alma School and Baseline. They have a giant Rogue one. But remember, you're not doing it for weight, so you don't want to put too much weight on there, maybe 10 or 20 pounds, and then just kind of flowing back and forth with the weight. And if you watch my stories yesterday, we were doing them. So that could be super beneficial for tractioning the spine, opening up the vertebrae and stuff like that. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope you get better soon, Angelique. And I hope everybody out there stays pain-free. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If there's any injuries, I mean, probably I've experienced at least half of them. And if it hasn't been me, it's probably been clients that I've dealt with that have had it as well. So be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day and keep up the good work. Stay active.